Good, beautiful morning, everybody, and welcome to the Wednesday edition of Shortcuts for Your Soul. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And I have with me the energy of a group that call themselves the Ascended, who wanted to talk about how people are stuck in their emotions and deliberately enslaved to them. In fact, many of you are deliberately enslaved. I just want to confirm on TikTok that we have sound on TikTok because I'm using a different microphone today. And good morning. Hello, Amanda. Good to see you. And so if you're on TikTok and you're hearing me, please just say, yes, I hear you on TikTok. That would be really great to confirm that. And I'm pretty sure on YouTube, I'm good. Hello there. Good to see you. Thank you so kindly. So if there is, wonderful. So the Ascended came in this morning. They said that what this really has to be discussed because most people are enslaved and you're deliberately being enslaved into your emotions. And it's a very interesting thing what they said about emotions. Emotions are connected more to your body than they are to your soul. Your soul is connected to reason and intuition and perception, connecting to God and higher vibrational beings, whereas your body is connected to the earth and it's based in survival, as this physical planet is constantly transforming and transmuting itself from one state to another. Life forms consume other life forms. It's a survival game in the physical dimension. This survival game is well understood by those in positions of authority and power on this planet, that they know that if they keep you trapped in your body, they keep you stuck in your emotions. If they keep you stuck in your emotions, you are disconnected from reason, intuition, perception, imagination, and indeed the very function of creation that you inherently have the capacity to exercise in your life every day. Many of the systems of what you call health, both mental and physical health, and many of the systems of information such as politics and news are designed to manipulate and keep you enslaved to your emotional energy. They are not designed to liberate you from your emotional energy, as your emotional energy keeps you bound in the body as the body. It keeps you believing that the body is you and that what you feel is more real than who you are. And yet these mechanisms of emotion are only for survival, to protect the body from harm. And each and every one of you has a body that is hearing this right now. And if something threatens the body, it goes into a mechanism of behavior you call in your conventional sciences, at least the mental sciences, fight or flight, which is a response mechanism of your body to live, to not die, to exist. And so there's a great effort to keep you emotionally enslaved to your body so that you cannot think, you cannot reason. And those that can think and reason will manipulate you. People that put themselves in positions of authority while you go hungry, while you suffer, while you get diseased, know full well what they are doing to you. They are very conscious and cognizant of the fact that they are keeping you enslaved into believing you are simply and merely an emotional body, a physical form, unable to alter and change the functions of your emotions, at the behest of the environmental conditions around you, disconnected from the very divine capabilities you have to think, to reason, to evaluate, to weigh, to measure intelligently and reasonably. This effort to keep you enslaved to your body began some 2,000 years ago, when a great fear was instilled in the collective unconsciousness of humanity through the destruction and aggressiveness towards certain individuals on the planet that offered you truth and wisdom and knowledge about your connection to the divine, your immediate connection to God within you, that was not of this world, not of the body, not of your emotions, but of your soul. Your soul is the divine aspect of your nature. It is the awareness that you are, the one that can be aware there are emotions, but not be stuck in the emotions. The one that can be aware there are thoughts, but not be stuck in the thoughts. The aspect of you that can be aware that you have a body, but the body is an instrument that you use. And a great fear was placed in the hearts of humanity when a great genocide towards those who began to understand, to think, to reason beyond the restrictions of the then ruling, governing systems of politics then, which are still in existence today, by the way. And so a great massacre occurred for many hundreds of years before a system of education called the Bible was created, under which the vast majority of you were placed. And those that were not placed under the restrictions of what you would call the Roman Empire's structure of religion soon found yourselves enslaved to other religious structures, such as Judaism, such as Islam. Many of these systems of religions are designed to keep the different branches of the human family separate in belief systems that will pit you against one another. And it's fundamentally to keep you trapped in fear, in survival, in believing that what you feel emotionally is all that is real to you. Your emotions are simply energy that you can utilize for creation. While on the physical plane, your emotions serve to protect the body from harm from a physical perspective. From the perspective of your soul, emotional energy can be harnessed to manifest, to create, to bring into existence experiences that you would desire to have as part of your experience while you're in this short little walk upon the surface of this planet. Yet many of you believe that what you are emoting is who you are. Your emotions are not who you are. In the last 150 years, a great deal of effort was put into this system of mental stuff called psychology and psychiatry, taking the realm of the individual out of the hands of the individual and putting it into the hands of what you call licensed individuals that will know better who you are than you do. And no one can know you as you can know you, but you've been convinced over these last 150 years that there is this system of individuals that will tell you and let you know who you are. That, coupled with 2,000 years of perpetual fear from different ruling groups and organizations, whether you call them royals or elites or political structures of certain faiths or beliefs, over the last 2,000 years, terrible things have been extolled upon humanity as these religions and political and elitist mechanisms went out and enslaved people to certain systems of thought, whether the people wanted to accept that system of thought. More recently, your Native American population in the last 500 years has gone through a tremendous decimation in order to extinguish independent and free thought. And even now, the function of independent and free thought is lost in the realm of emotions. When you are lost in emotions, you are disconnected from your soul. You are disconnected from reason, intuition, perception, imagination. The very faculties that you need to create functionally the life that you came here to experience. You didn't come here just to experience life. You came here to learn the function of creation. This is what you came here to do. But in an emotional state, you are bound to the flesh as the sole locus of your identity. And there's a select group of specialized individuals that are specifically designed to keep you enslaved to your mind and to your body, disconnected from your spiritual nature, disconnected from knowing the divinity within you and the capacity that you have to transcend all of your suffering. You have that capacity within you to transcend your suffering. Such purges over the last 2,000 years, such as the purging of what they called the witches, those who had understood the natural world of healing and the mental sciences of focusing your attention. The great shamanic and religious, non-religious movements of the yogis and the Sufis that lived in seclusion, that offered their training to those who were willing to come to it. Many of these also extinguished. The great monks of what you call your Tibet were extinguished even more recently, to a larger extent. And any group or individuals that brought forth the opportunity, the information, and the knowledge that would liberate you were often extinguished. The most notable, the one you call Yeshua, or the one this one calls Master Jesus, and others such as him, that were deliberately, meticulously extinguished from the truth of what they brought to you. And that truth was repurposed and repackaged to be fashioned into mechanisms of control, authority, and power that have taken you away from who you are. And so your angers and your fears and your judgments enslave you to your flesh. And you now turn to those in these positions of licensed authority that will give you a pill or a drug to control how you feel. Because once they can get you to take a pill or drug to control how you feel, well, they have complete control over you. You've surrendered your authority and autonomy to a pill, to a drug, to an idea, to a belief. That often goes unquestioned. You are not your body. You are not your mind. You are a soul, a divine entity here to learn the function of creation. The function of psychological and spiritual healing is well within the grasp of anybody who can simply teach their own mind to be quiet, to recognize the natural, innate autonomy and authority you have over your mind and body by design. Your mind and body by design are meant to be instruments that you used, not instruments of enslavement and subjugation as they have been manipulated into being for many of you now. Your systems of information, unquestioned, have enslaved many of you to beliefs that pit you one against the other. The brotherhood of humanity, all but shattered because individuals are enslaved to their emotions at the expense of their spiritual nature. It is time to awaken. You must understand that the global social and political systems that are occurring on the planet are products of your emotional enslavement. Those that enslave you to your emotions are enslaving themselves to the very emotions they enslave you to. That there's a great instability that's been created as a result of this because your human collective unconscious is more in fear than it is in love. And there are effects and consequences to certain emotional qualities, even behaviorally. If you are angry, there are functions of action that more often than not happen. When you're sad, there are certain functions physiologically that happen. When you're enraged, there are certain things that will happen. And so many of you are caught in these emotions, believing you have no authority or power over them. You need a pill, you need a drug, you need someone or something to change what you feel, but you are the very thing that you need to change what you feel. You are the very instrument that you need to correct and liberate yourself from the enslavement to the emotional field. Please understand this, that you have been enslaved very specifically. So I'm just getting a notification on TikTok that this live is being restrictable and is not eligible for a recommendation and restricted to search results because your live does not comply for your feed eligibility standards under our community guidelines Well, isn't that fascinating? So there's only a certain number of people now that on TikTok will only be able to hear this. They want to continue and say simply that you must understand that there's great effort to keep you enslaved to your emotions at the expense of your spiritual nature. But the consequences of this enslaver and enslaved will be evidenced by the energetic transformations that are happening on your planet right now between the sun and the earth and the other heavenly bodies. There's an energetic reaction underway right now. There is an energetic reaction underway right now. And you must understand that this energetic reaction cannot be ignored much longer, that the function of certain emotional qualities individually and more importantly collectively result in very specific outcomes occurring. When you are angry, you will say and do certain things if you do not know how to control your own emotional energy. And the vast majority of individuals on this planet do not know how. And these emotions go into the space of time around you and influence and affect things accordingly. And not just on a scale of individuality with humans, but on a scale of the planet, of the sun, of the solar system. Your emotional energy interacts with everything around you and within you. It interacts with everything around you and within you. And you will see, if you do not begin to make these shifts away from fear and all of its children, the children of anger, judgment, sadness, depression, anxiety, emotional qualities that are harmful by nature, not only to your biology, but to those around you. Why do you think the animals flee you when you approach them? Because they can feel that many of you live in fear. And fear is a destructive energy. But the planet is going through a responsive change in relation to your collective emotional energies. The planet is going through a responsive change to your collective emotional energies, as is the sun reacting to the earth, and so on and so forth. You cannot consider yourself as separate from that beautiful light in the sky or this wonderful earth surrounding your body. You cannot live in the illusion that you are separate from them. You are not separate from them. You are at one with them. And therefore, what you think and what you feel, what you say, what you do influences and affects all around you. And without the capacity to utilize and harness the higher functions of your soul, such as reason and intuition and perception, without your ability to utilize those, you remain subjugated to your emotions and your biology, believing that you cannot change what you think or you cannot change what you feel. And this is simply not the truth, but you've been conditioned into such a way to believe that. It's just what I think, you say. It's just what I feel, you say. No, it's what you've been given to think and given to feel. Much of what you think and feel has been given to you. It has been given to you. And your time is shorter rather than longer, unfortunately, because so many of you are spending a great deal of time in anger and judgment. And it does not matter your station in life, whether you're wealthy or whether you are poor. You are all contributing to what is unfolding before your very eyes right now. The effects of love are very precise and specific in how they will cause changes in your world, equally as the effects of fear will cause the effects in the world that they cause. And it's easy to know which is what. If there is war, there is no love there. If there is poverty, there is no love there. You can easily discern where the children of fear live in your world. And by that, I don't mean the individuals, but the function of that energy called emotion lives in those places. And it has been put there. Those in positions of authority, power, and control know this very well. And for many thousands of years, they have lived in this fashion of manipulation and control, ultimately leading to a destructive transformation, as it happened in what you call the event of your great human savior, the one you would call Noah. The great flood you hear of is an effect of, again, the human collective unconscious getting very out of balance and the system of life reacting and responding to it. As easily as you get a pinprick in your hand and your hand will react to that prick by the pin, so too the energy systems of the world around you react and respond to your emotional energy. And that is a very, very fascinating consideration, is it not? That your emotions individually and collectively affect the world around you. What a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. And the freedom you have to produce effects of love or effects of fear is wondrous when you understand it, when you realize I do not have to live from the enslavement to my emotions. I can live from the place of my soul, from the place of clarity, of reason, of compassion, of kindness. You can each decide this for yourselves. But you are not your emotions. They are not immutable. They are not unalterable. They are not unchangeable. They are not. You can alter and change your thoughts. You can alter and change your emotions. You can learn to do this. And we know that there are some of you that are upset at the idea that you do not need a pill or a drug to control what you think or feel. And we know that there are others that do not like the idea of certain information getting out to you. Those that have a vested interest in your suffering to their benefit would certainly not want you to know the truth of how to not suffer anymore, for they would not benefit from your suffering, would they? And there are many that benefit from the suffering of humanity in this world. There are many that benefit from the suffering of humanity, but far more that suffer because of that. We shall leave that at that. Good morning, everybody. Yeah. So it was really cool. I got this thing that popped up on the screen. So on TikTok, apparently you won't be able to share this. If you're on TikTok, fortunate enough to be on the live right now, you won't be able to share the live with anybody else according to the notification I read. And that's okay. Those of you that are here were meant to hear it. Why is there a dark? Hopefully the suffering will stop when consciousness lifts. Yes, and everyone on this planet that can think or reason, that can lead you away from subjectivity to your emotions, subjectivity to the compulsions of the body. Understand that your body and your emotions and your mind are not you. They're instruments that you have. And I think that's the big piece that people need to get, is that your body is not who you are. It's an instrument you have. Your emotions are part of the body's survival mechanism. In that emotions, the reactions of the body, certain loud sounds, you see a lion coming, the body has an emotional system in it for surviving. But that emotional system's not you. It's part of the body. The emotional system is something you can harness creatively, but that's another story. We'll let them share that with you another day. How to then harness those emotions in a correct and positive fashion so they're not just relegated to survival. Because the vast majority of people are stuck in survival, stuck in their body, stuck in their emotions. This is how I feel, this is what it is, I can't change it. It's a horrible place to be. I lived in that place for many years. And I've been involved in the psychiatric institutions many, many years ago. So I understand their mechanism of how they try to treat people. right? Psychology, psychiatry, which have the potential to liberate humanity in the most profound ways, but because they do not include, in conventional sciences, they do not include the concept of the human soul. And as long as the human soul is kept out of the equation of the process of human healing and well-being, it's not going to change. The suffering on humanity will continue to increase until humans begin to realize that you are not your body, you're not your mind, you are a soul. And you have a mind and you have a body, and you can use the mind and body in a creative way. You don't have to be subjective to them anymore. But yeah, that's a great question. Hi. Question from Bazia. What is the reason that my friend sorry, it just jumped up. What is the reason my friend Marluz is in my life at this time? Is there a lesson we need to learn? If I tune into this situation, you get to decide and define the lesson. You get to define and use your sacred gift of reason to discern if this is right and good for you. Every situation and circumstance gives each and every one of you the opportunity to use your higher faculties of discernment. Reason and discernment are very close together. But to use the faculties of reason and discernment to know if something is good and beneficent for you in the creative process that you are here to engage in. With you two specifically, that process is the same as it is with everyone else. Learning discernment and creation. For relationships, the function of relationships are mechanisms of learning, growth, development for individuals. The persons that you bring into your life can never be closer to you than you can be to yourself, but they can certainly allow you to develop yourself in a very dynamic and wonderful way by reflecting back and forth from each other and evolving, learning, and becoming a better version of yourself if that would be suitable to you. But you have that opportunity now to use your reason to grow, to evolve, to transform. That is the nature of relationships, to assist you in elevating yourself up, not bring yourself down. It's a good thing for you. Hi, Diane. How do we, alongside of people that live in their emotional, how do we live alongside of people that live in their emotional body? Transmit love. This is what they keep telling me. You have to understand that your body is a transmitting and receiving system, just as your mind is a transmitting and receiving system. The body deals with the physical world. The mind deals with the energetic world. But you can use the body and you can actually transmit an energy of love out from your body. You can actually influence and affect people with what you generate in terms of feelings. If you got people that are really emotionally troubled and challenged, but you don't want to get too involved with them, spend a couple minutes every day and just send love to them. See them in your mind's eye as being happy and fulfilled. Put that energy their way. You don't have to stay involved with them, but you can certainly start transmitting love to them at the very, very least. And maybe be so bold as to ask them, what is it they actually need? Once people start to have knowledge that your emotions are not who you are, once you know that your emotions are not who you are, then you can start to work with them. And that's another thing. Education is important. Your emotions are not who you are. They're energy that you have. And most of your emotions and most of your thoughts you got from your environment. Most of the thoughts and emotions in your head you aren't even yours. And most people don't know that. Most people know that a lot of the thoughts and emotions that they have in their head aren't even yours. You got them from television. You got them from the radio. You got them from the news. You got them from somebody else. Most of what you think, feel, and believe isn't even yours. And so a really good starting point for anybody is what thoughts are actually mine? What thoughts do I want to think? Because thoughts create events. And then you start to become very selective and deliberate about the process of what you're going to think, feel, and believe. Hi there. Oh, there's still people on TikTok. That's great. So they didn't block everybody from coming. Emotional healing insights. Yes, that's correct. Yeah. Unfortunately, TikTok has restricted today's video for whatever reason. I'm sure somebody, yeah, just scrolling through here. Hi there, good to see you. Hello from Spain, good to see you here. Well, sometimes facing your emotions, somebody's just making a comment that if I face my emotions, it will wake you up. Yes, because once you realize your emotions are not you, and you can actually change your emotions very quickly. A lot of people don't know that you can actually interact with your emotions differently than you would normally. Most people just feel their emotions, and there's nothing wrong with feeling your emotions, but when you get lost in them, well, that's a problem. People get lost in their anger and they do stupid shit, right? People get lost in their sadness. They end up going into spiraling into depression because you get lost in the emotion. But did you know that you can actually communicate with your emotions? You can actually alter and change your emotional energy just by the way you interact with them. There's really simple ways that you can learn to change your emotional energies. In any moment, you can actually shift a deep sadness to joy. And I've witnessed it many times in our master class when the ascended and the other masters are teaching through me, and they have people go through simple processes, and their energy just changes. They go from deep depression to freedom. They go from despair to hope in seconds, just by learning how to shift the way you interact with your emotional energy. And once you start changing your emotional energy, you'll start changing the effects of time and space around you. TikTok is one of the largest platforms on the planet for reaching people. So it doesn't surprise me that they would want to block this live stream today, because today is about freedom. And the people that are controlling these mechanisms of communication, and they are controlled, whether you want to admit it or not, they're controlled. I'm aware of that, and I hope you're aware of that too. That they don't necessarily want to give up the position of power, control, and authority they've had for many thousands of years. They don't have much choice. Everybody's gonna have to go through a change if we don't make a change. Hard to deal with some leaks. Hi, William. Somebody told me something while smirking. How to not accept that? Again, when somebody projects an emotion at you like that, don't take it on, because all they can do is trigger what's already inside you. But you recognize that they're not to be trusted, right? You do recognize that type of behavior is not to be trusted, right? And so you be mindful about how you build your relationship with that individual. Be very careful and mindful, right? Let's see here. Somebody's saying if you sign up for one of these classes or a reading, it will change you completely. Thank you so much, Amanda. Thank you for sharing that. I took his class 101, but didn't wake up. Who's that? Hello, Nona. Did you do all the work? Did you do every practice you were given to do? I don't remember seeing you in the class. Why is there a dark? Hopefully the suffering will stop when consciousness lifts. Yes, it will. It will, absolutely. When you turn a light on in darkness, the darkness is gone. And we are in this process of collective awakening right now. Hi there. Hi. Good to see you. Right. There we go. There we go. Someone's vertical saying here, I wish to maintain a relationship with my business partners after a recent misunderstanding. I feel they may want to continue as well. Can you confirm this? Yes, I can confirm this. Disagreements are opportunities too, especially in business. Disagreements are opportunities to take what's happening to a higher level. The question to ask yourself is, what is the opportunity to take these two opposing viewpoints and use them as a way to get to a higher expression in the business? How can the business go to a higher expression of itself? Because that's ultimately what any form of differences should do. They should elevate the situation. Differences shouldn't bring a situation down. They should elevate a situation up. But yeah, you have an opportunity to do that now. Yeah, there's a lot of amazing energy around. Yeah, there is. Well, it's not a, yeah, Janine. Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine. Good morning to you too. All right. Well, I think we're done for today. I think that restriction probably expanded from TikTok to YouTube. And I've got lots to do today. And we got a class later on in the afternoon. I want to wish you all much love. Thank you for coming out today. For my Patreons, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be quite the evening. I'm bringing a being by the name of Matthias through who wants to share some wonderful insights about life with us all. Much love to you all. Thank you for supporting this channel. Remember to like, subscribe, share, follow. And again, very soon we'll be bringing people onto the show live again on TikTok. That'll be a lot of fun. Thank you, Amanda, for that super sticker. Really appreciate it. Would love a message from Archangel Michael. He came to me so clearly in a dream a few days ago. Thank you. Yeah, well, it's very simple. He's with you, Amanda. He is with you and working with you. You're going to another level of awareness and awakening. You're moving now from the human to the angelic realm and perception. When they start coming to you, part of your consciousness is now going to the angelic realm. So have fun with that. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I'll see all of you guys. I'll see you this afternoon in the class. And I'll see the rest of you on the Friday edition of Short Clips. So this Friday, we're going to do some healing. And during that process of healing, I'm probably going to bring some people on live who want to experience some healing on the live show on Friday. So have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day. And I'll look forward to seeing you on Friday. Bye for now. Have a